Hey guys, and welcome back to War Thunder. It is Krebsie here, and today's video what we're going to be doing is discussing about the new Churchill variants that have been teased by Gaijin in their latest dev blog. So as I'm sure you guys are aware, 4 vehicles have been added for the British tech tree in the latest patch, and just to give us a teaser of sorts of what the Brits are going to be like. But these were all premium vehicles. The ones that they teased, I would assume, are going to be non-premiums and just available to the normal research tree. At least I would assume so, since they're just the main variants of the Churchill, as opposed to the Black Prince being a prototype of sorts. And knowing Gaijin's usual logic, if it's a prototype, it should be a premium. So the Churchill 3 and the Churchill 7, those are the 2 variants that have been teased. Now you're probably wondering what is the difference between the 2 and what are we likely to expect on the battlefield in War Thunder. Well, I did a little bit of research, and what I can tell you is, well, the Churchill 3, obviously since it's an earlier variant, it's gonna be most likely, of course, at a lower tier. Now, what kind of specifics are we looking at? The Churchill 3 had 90mm of armor on the front, both on the turret and on the hull. This is as opposed to the Black Prince having about 152mm on both the turret and the hull. But of course, being at lower tiers, well, we'll have to actually see what tier it's actually placed at, because 90mm is kind of getting on the border of being able to be penetrated or not being able to be penetrated. And to be fair, the Black Prince is kind of like that as well. The 152 is really like borderline between being able to be penetrated or not, but still, it soaks up so much. So I would imagine that the Churchill 3 is probably going to be soaking up a lot of damage, but it really just depends what battle rating it comes up in. Because at 90mm, if you're starting to look at stuff like T-34s or Panzer IVs, then they have more than enough penetration, doing anywhere up to about 130mm. But if you're looking at things like, if you come up in against, I don't know, an American Sherman that only has 90mm of penetration, or 110 on those AP rounds, then sometimes it might bounce, sometimes it might penetrate. It really just depends on what we're going to be seeing, because the thing is with the Churchills, they've got flat armor, so it's not like they're angled and they're going to have effective thicknesses. Not quite so, unless you angle your tank. But if they hit straight on, well, we'll have to see. But if it goes anything like the Black Prince and it being borderline but still able to soak up a lot of shots, then I imagine that these Churchills, the Churchill 3, will be able to soak up a lot. But it comes equipped with a 6-pounder as opposed to the 17-pounder on the Black Prince. And so with the 6-pounder, I managed to find out that it actually has the availability of armor-piercing, disposing sabot shells, just like the Black Prince. However, these are most likely to do anything between 130 to 142mm of penetration, which is a lot, and more than capable of damaging or penetrating enemies. And if it's going to be anything like the 17-pounder APDS, then it's going to be destroying enemies so quickly. The amount of spray that comes out of that shell when it penetrates the enemy is just going to kill enemies very quickly. And considering it's a 6-pounder, it's most likely going to get a very fast reload speed as well. Now the Churchills are, of course, slow tanks, and this one, it's an earlier variant, but since it's not as heavy as the Churchill 7 or the Black Prince, it's most likely going to be going at a faster speed. And I managed to find out that this one was able to go at a maximum speed of 24 kilometers per hour in comparison to the 17 or so on the Black Prince. So that is the Churchill 3, the major things that you'd probably be wary about or considering. Of course, like all the other variants, its side and back armor is going to be really, really weak. Now the Churchill 7. Alright, well this one, as I'm sure maybe some of you will be delighted to find out, and possibly others will be horrified to find out, is a lot like the Black Prince. Essentially, it's basically a normal Black Prince, as in a non-premium one. There are some subtle differences between the two, but they are pretty much the same. The Churchill 7 has that 17-pounder. It has 152mm of armor, both on the turret and also the hull. So essentially, it's a lot like the Black Prince. And this is exciting because, I mean, people are able to basically get a non-premium version of the Black Prince, so I guess that's always nice. But for anyone who's ever come up against a Black Prince, you know how scary those tanks can actually be to take on. knowing that nothing you do, everything you shoot at it will not penetrate. As in, there's nothing you can do against it from the front. Your only chance is to drop artillery on it, drop bombs on it with planes, or just strafe it from the side or the back. That is your only chance. And so it kind of horrifies me at the same time just to think of a prospect of a battlefield filled with essentially black princes. Churchill 7 just really is it's a horrifying thought. And you know, Gaijin has been saying in their dev blog, this is a tank that's not meant to be played solo and should be supported by teammates. And so that really makes you think, how am I gonna get on the side or the rear armor of a Churchill 7 if it's got teammates? Or imagine even if there's two Churchill 7s and they have these mass potentials of damage with their APDS shells. Oh, that's gonna be a headache. But you know, guys, we're gonna have to see what happens when it actually comes out. So that is all that they've teased with the Churchills. They only showed 2 variants, and maybe they're going to show more of what's going to come out, because I'm pretty sure in the past they have showed us some other variants, or sorry, not variants, but other tanks completely unrelated to the Churchills that are going to be coming out in the game. So I'm excited to see more in the dev blogs in the future of what is going to be coming out. But anyway, guys, I now leave it to you. What are your thoughts and impressions of this latest dev blog and these latest teases? Feel free to leave that in the comment box below, and I might actually leave some responses to your comments so to keep a conversation going. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and until the next one, this is Krebsie, and I'll catch you guys later.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Now we blasting off into the ozone. The way we kick it in the dojo is local.